Hey, good morning, good night, good afternoon, konnichiwa, hello, what's up, how are you guys? It is so awesome. It is another Monday. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, we have a beautiful guest with us today, Miss Alicia D. I hope I said her name right. Yes,
Wonderful, wonderful.
yes, it's so great to have you here on live. Yes. Let's turn that music off. Let's get down to business. I know a lot of busy women, are on my live, so let's get right down to business. So Alicia is a mind and movement coach, right? And you
Yes.
ladies know that I love to move, love to dance. I don't believe in diets, of course. I believe in a lifestyle, having fun and losing weight or maintaining your weight and just being healthy with doing something fun. So today, Miss Alicia, she'll be giving us 3 tips on how to get motivated because I hear so many horror stories where I don't have the time. I hate my belly. I hate my jiggling arms, all of this stuff. We want to get her perspective. She is the owner of the Confidence Studios. That is so exciting. She is a speaker, a host of her own podcast, right? She'll tell us more all about that. So welcome, Miss Alicia.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Yes, it's so good to have you on here. And I love a woman who loves some color. I love your
Yeah.
outfit today.
I'm always popping with some type of color. I feel like you got to put some spice and pizzazz in your day. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, awesome. So I want to ask you, what got you into dancing? And because I love all your videos and how you inspire women to get motivated and move their bodies.
Yeah. So, it's so interesting. So, dancing has always been a part of my life. I didn't start taking professional lessons until I was 12 years old because back in the day, it was really expensive to take dance lessons. And dance was the first physical movement where I really motivated myself that I could achieve anything that I wanted to achieve. So, long story short, when I was 12 years old, taking my first dance lesson, I was in a class full of ladies and I was not built like a dancer. I was horribly teased and I didn't give up. And I performed at the end of the year recital with the girls who made fun of me. They fell
Uh-huh.
flat on their face. So it was the one moment in my life with the connection of movement that I knew that I could achieve it. And it's always stuck with me. And dance has been that underlining motivator.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I know did you, with the whole reality show television, tell us a little bit of how, your journey came from that part too, because reality TV was another way of, I feel like I love reality TV because it was authentic back when, not like now where it's like, edited and they tell people what to do, but I'm sure when you were on your show, tell us a little bit about that too. What led you to that?
Sure. So I always say I'm like one of the OGs of reality television. Is every so often there's people that recommend, weren't you on something? I'm like, yes, about 11 years ago. So I appeared on a show called Dance Your Ass Off, where the premise of the show, yes, it's literally the name. You could go look it up. It was on
I
the
was,
Oxygen
wait, can
Network.
I just say something? I was like at home. That was my favorite show. Like I was like, I have to
Oh,
go to the because in my mind I feel like I'm a dancer in a whole other world. So
oh no, you're a I see your videos. You are a dancer.
yes. So how did you go to the audition? Like talk us a little bit through that because as plus women sometimes we get, we don't have that motivation because of course society holds us up to like you're not skinny enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're too fat, and then there's like a whole perception that if you're bigger in body you can't move, you'll be out of breath and all of that. We're
Right.
sitting on the couch eating bonbons. So how did you go into that reality show? And tell us a little journey about it.
Sure, absolutely. So Dance Your Ass Off was actually my second network dance show. I was on and
Mm.
I auditioned for a dance show called The Dance Machine that was on the ABC network. It didn't do well in the ratings. It got canceled after like 3 shows. But that show, the first dance show, network dance show, prepared me for Dance Your Ass Off because I got into an audition with professional dancers. Now, I danced throughout my life, but I was nowhere near, like the ballerina type or the physique of a ballerina type. And they
Right.
put me in this room with a whole bunch of ballerinas, beautiful dancers, beautiful lines, very inspirational to me, but not me. So I'm just like, okay, I didn't know what they were really looking for, but I'm going to give it my all. I know I could shake my cake. I'm confident. I know I could do my thing. I'm just going to be me. So they have me go up front and they have the ballerinas like go to the back. I'm thinking the ballerinas make it on the show, right? I'm like, all right, so I'm going to be eliminated. No, they just wanted me for the show, for that cast, because they were looking for people who were all shapes and sizes that could really dance and move and groove. They weren't looking for the ballerina type. So when I did that and I made that show, and there was this other
Mhm.
show that combined like wellness and weight loss and dancing, it was just a moment opportunity that already had the preparation behind it, and I was ready to go. I made it to the semifinals of Dance Your Ass Off. Had my 15 minutes of fame back then, and lost 110 pounds. But it was really
Wow.
interesting, and not to get ahead of myself, I lost weight and gained weight. And what I recognized when I lost weight very publicly, those same comments of people saying I wasn't good enough, this you're a fat dancer, or just talking about my body. Even when I
Mm.
lost the weight, those hate comments were still there at a different size. At a different size, at a very 110 pounds less, there are people saying, keep losing weight. Like she looked better with the weight on. There were still the haterade, no matter what size I was. So
Wow.
I'm done with listening to the haterade. No more
Yeah.
haterade.
So that's why it's so important to love yourself from within and know that true beauty comes from within, because just like money and with image and weight, they always say no matter how many millions you have, it will not make you happy. Money is great, and society puts this whole thing on being totally skinny. And look, you went to you're both sides of the spectrum. You were also skinny publicly,
Mm-hmm.
which they should be cheering for you, like, you're now skinny and like people are still criticizing you. So how did you, once you're on Dance Your Ass Off now, what was your full motivation to for women, like, to what was your message?
Sure. So I wanted to really coach that inner love that you just spoke about, because
Hmm.
I recognized when I was listening to so many people about my body and what
Hmm.
I should look like and what I can and cannot do, I recognize that's not anybody else's decision. That's not anybody else's mindset. They don't pay my bills at the end of the month. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
am me, and I'm going to do me the best that I can. And I know there's so many other women out there that struggle with that. Whether it might not be dance for them, it might be like they get anxiety going on a job interview, getting, they don't feel good in those moments because they're listening to so much outside noise and not that inner song that should be there.
Yeah. So and also the life purpose, right? That so did where did you tap into finding your life purpose? Was it while you were on the show, after you came off? How
Yeah,
did you become like speaker, host, and all these other entrepreneurial, inspirational things for women?
well, I think the first thing I always like to say, there's this old saying I heard that it just you keep throwing darts until you get even close to that bullseye and see all those things that you could do along the way that helps prepare you for your ultimately what you're supposed to do. And what I recognize from teaching dance fitness, from being out there in the public eye, from hosting different events, television or in person and stuff like that, that people always come back to, well, how do you do all this stuff? Like they get so nervous, and I'm like, you just do it. Like you know what I mean? It's just like parenting. I'm a mom of 3 boys. Parenting, you have to just do it. You don't have a choice. You have to
Right.
show up, and you need to show up for yourself just as much as you show up for other people. And that's just something for me that is this internal motivation in everything that I do. And honestly, if I really look at it, I'm helping that little girl, my little 8-year-old self, who was getting teased, right? Who thought she wasn't worthy, who thought she wasn't beautiful because she didn't look like the status quo. And it's really getting that message out there that no matter what size, no matter what you look like, no matter what ethnicity.
Oh, what's going on with the sound? Uh-huh.
Who can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
I'm getting a little static on my side, but okay,
Cool.
go ahead.
Yeah, just
Sorry
let me
about
know if you need me to do something. Just keeping that. That's where that my purpose comes from. Is really who could I help by just motivating to let them know that they are good enough and they could do whatever they want to do with a healthy mindset.
Wow. Yes, so that is super exciting. So I want you to give some tips right now. So for women who are mothers, you are a wife, you're an entrepreneur, and you come from Latina background
Yes.
also,
Hmm.
right? Tell us a little bit about your background first, and then I want to give some have you give some tips to women who feel like bombarded with like their whole life, because that's a lot. I don't know anything about that. I'm not a mother yet. I'm not a wife. Tell us a little bit about all of that
Sure,
juicy.
yeah, and I'll tell you. So, motherhood in itself is a journey. I am Latina and Italian. I grew up with a lot of spice in my household. So I got the Italian side and I got the Spanish side, and we're ready
Mhm.
to always make things happen. So I really have that strong family background behind me that really was the foundation about really how to maneuver a family. I grew up in a blended family, and now I have myself a blended family. I also have 2 kids on the autism spectrum. So, needless to say, life is busy on a daily basis. And the one thing I have to say to keep yourself motivated, to keep you on your map to your goals, is really reminding yourself every single morning, what are you getting up for? Like, why are you showing up? You need to move your body so you could be present and mobile for yourself and your family and your loved ones. You need to go after those goals so you could show your children, your spouse, everybody that you could achieve anything you want to achieve with the goal in mind and the hard work and the dedication and that inner light to keep yourself going. So I think there's so much specifically for females in general. We're always like, I got to do this. We don't feel like we're thriving enough. We're always playing catch up. And the thing is all those little steps that you're taking to whatever your ultimate goals are is that ladder. You're building the ladder as you go. So applaud yourself along the way. Remind yourself of that purpose in the beginning of your day, and just stay striving for it because everybody deserves it.
Wow. So people learn from examples. So tell me a little day in the life, like, because I'm
Okay.
trying to wrap my head around it, like, oh, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business, all this, like, take us, like, kind of step by step, like how things
Yeah,
look for
and
you.
I have 3 boys, okay,
Wow.
and a husband and a male dog. So there's a lot of male energy in my household. It's there. Let me just say, on a
Hmm.
daily, I feel like I'm constantly bringing that female energy, trying to in my household. But I think my schedule on a daily is very hectic. It's me getting up earlier than my family. It's me really planning out, okay, what activities are going on? Do we have therapies today for any of for my 2 kids that are on the spectrum? Do we have hockey practice? Do we have theater practice? And then, oh, wait, I have to teach a course on this. So I got to do this at this time. And really allocating those hours to the best of my ability that I can, and also showing myself grace. There was a period of time where I was just burnt out. I'm just like, whoa,
I could
family,
imagine.
my job, the different things that I got going on, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break,
Yeah.
and that's okay. And I that was something I did want to speak about today because I don't think enough is out there about allocating space for yourself. That's okay. That's an achievement. That's an achievement if you need to say, you know what, I just want to watch some Netflix. It's okay. Or, hey, I want to go take my own dance class. Or, hey, I want to go have a cup of coffee by myself. Allow yourself that time because you need to regenerate, right? Like you need to refresh. Just like you sometimes you need new batteries in a remote control, right? So sometimes you got to refresh your batteries. And just to remember that, keep striving, but also remember to take space to refresh.
I really do like that because I get a lot of even women in my course, in my program, sometimes the guilt and the shame of just acts in choosing themselves. You know, I speak to a lot of women daily because I have my confidence breakthrough call. So I connect with a lot of people. I meet with a lot of women. And sometimes when it gets down to really choosing themselves, you know, they feel so ashamed, so guilty that they're going to finally choose themselves. And I want you to talk to some of those women who are, again, wives, mothers. Um, let them kind of know the importance of staying, how to stay motivated, but, you know, being a woman who is nurturing the family, but they have to know that they have to nurture themselves first. Can you speak a little to that part, even if it's for a dance class, something that you love to do? You know, they feel so guilty. And as a mind and movement coach, how do you encourage women to really choose themselves?
Well, I think it goes back to that old saying. I don't know if you ever heard of that old analogy where you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself first on a plane before you put it on your child. There's a reason for that, right? Because if you're
Yeah,
not breathing, how are you going to save your child's life if you're not, you can't, right? So
yeah.
you need to take those moments for yourself. Hence why I also created Confidence Studios and the Confidence Workout because I wanted a workout for women specifically that was fun, that was low impact, that was enjoyable, and that was quick and tangible so they could fit it through their busy days. Hence, I experience that life on a daily basis. Sometimes my schedule between the kids, between things I got to do in the household and the entrepreneurship of everything that I got going on, I was like, but I wanted to get that movement in because it's important for your bodies. Our bodies were made to move. Our bodies weren't made to be a specific size. They were made to move. So enjoy the movement. So if you need help staying motivated and taking that time for yourself, think of that old analogy. It's so true. You need to give that oxygen to yourself first before you can provide it to anybody else.
So tell us a little where, you know, these busy moms, wives, singles, just anyone, any woman who needs to move her body and want to feel better about her body, where can she find your confidence workouts?
Sure. So if you go to letsconfidence.com, I have a monthly membership or a year membership. I literally record these workouts throughout my workday. And I wanted to do that very authentically to show that this isn't a big setup, right? I'm not pre recording these like months from now. I'm actually doing it as I'm doing all my stuff so we can keep each other motivated, right? Because I think that community of uplifting each other and that energy is beautiful. So if you are interested in a workout that is fun, that is low impact, that literally you could shake your cake with me at noon on a Monday, go ahead and check out letsconfidence.com. We're building a community of women that are just about wellness at any size and embracing who we are at any moment. And I'd love to have you on board and dance with you. And not only that, I'm going to be adding next month monthly meditations. So another thing that I didn't mention that has really helped with um, most of my time management and anxiety has been meditation. So in dance, a lot of people don't know. Centuries ago, aesthetic dance is a form of meditation. So a dance in itself is meditation. But if you want to just slow the mind down a little bit deeper and give yourself that space, meditation will also be offered through the Confidence membership.
Wow. So can we talk a little bit about the importance of the mind because you're also a mind coach?
Yeah.
And how did you get into that and why? Was
Yeah,
there, can I, yeah.
I would be honest. So, very transparently, I've suffered from anxiety and depression. And, there's a lot of things in life in general that hit us all, right? Life is constantly throwing us curveballs. And also, when you become a parent, it's a whole other game, right? So, you got
Wow.
your life and then you got your kid's life. And I'll be honest, when, my son was diagnosed with Asperger's, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. And I think
Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
so. Asperger's is on the autism spectrum, and sensory goes into it, and most children who are on the Asperger's, they tend to be on the gifted side, maybe a little bit socially awkward. And there are different therapies that we do have to go to on a weekly basis, whether it's occupational therapy. Sometimes there's physical therapies. It all depends. Each case is very different. I'm very blessed to have had different therapists in both of my son's life that have really led to a good progression for my children. And it's work on a daily basis between me and my husband as well, for all of our kids, because at the end of the day, uh, when you're a parent, they need that guidance, the kids. So regardless of therapies or not, or diagnoses, parenting in general is very complex and complicated. So you throw, some type of disability on there, and it's only another layer. So
Hmm.
it was very, I with my son Max in particular, he had respiratory things when he was an infant, and I thought, okay, that was it. That was going to be the hardship. But then when the diagnoses happened, it took a minute for me. Again, that guilt trip as a parent. It's like, should I have been eating something different when I was pregnant? Like, did I do this? You start right away
Mm.
internally blaming
Oh,
yourself. What
wow.
causes those anxieties?
Oh, wow.
And I said it wasn't anything I did. It was after series of therapies and stuff like that. And meditation has really helped center me, to allow me to do the things that I do, to allow me to do the work that I do, to allow me to be the parent that I do. And I will, give credit where credit's due. I have a wonderful husband. We're a great team. And I was also a single parent too. So I want to throw that out there. At
So big up to all the single moms too. Take
single
us a little
moms.
bit about where your journey was with that. What was when were you a single mom when you were on the reality TV on Dance Your Ass Off or where?
Yeah, no. So I was not a mother yet when I was on the reality show. I was 23. I had Max at 26, so a few years later. And I became a single mom for a couple years. Met my husband. He was in the military at the time. We were in a long distance relationship. He had two boys. I had my son. Moved cross country. We blended our family. Um,
Nice.
at that point, and here's a very interesting story. At that point, my stepson Devin, at the time, he was already diagnosed years prior, and my husband Steve was dealing with a lot of those therapies and stuff that happen with the autism spectrum that you need to help your child with. At that point, my son was not diagnosed, and there was a therapist there that was recognizing some things, and then I got him tested. So it's like, oh wow, here we are. We were long distance. We met long distance. We end up having both of our kids are on the spectrum. We're blending this thing. So anybody out there, listen, I hear you. Blending a family is complicated. Being a single parent is complicated. Even marriage is a beautiful thing, but has its complications too, right? Life wouldn't be that if it didn't have its complications. But you just got to keep striving to have a better minute, a better breath, a better day every moment.
Wow. So can you give us one other tip? Of course, because of course, being a mom, you were a single mom and all of that. Because I believe in that feminine energy, and you said there's a lot of masculine energy
Yeah.
always around. How do you tap into that without being like a pushover? Because people think when I say feminine energy, it's like, oh, I just lie down, I lay back, I don't do anything. How do you like balance that um, on a daily?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think having boys, I feel very blessed because I know one day they're going to be excellent husbands, right? So I'm letting them know, like, listen, there are boundaries in my household, so that's a big thing. A lot of women have a hard time with boundaries. You got to let them know. And I'm not just only speaking for my household; I'm speaking in life in general. You have to. What are you okay with, right? And what? How do you like? I'll use my home for example. How do you like your home? What is it to you in your eyes of how your home should be, and how could you work with your family to bring? For me, I need a lot more. Like, I'm a girly girl. Just when I was a little girl, I was like, give me the sparkles, give me the glam, like pull out the red carpet. And now I'm in a household with hockey bags and smells that I wouldn't want to even talk about on this show. But what I want to say is you have to set those boundaries. So if there's a smell, I got to have an air freshener. Sorry, guys, that's got to happen. Make sure you put your deodorant on before you leave the house. But the thing is, it's having those boundaries, and just I put pink and sparkles and everything. I got flowers here. I got my little Buddha guy back there.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah, I love your outfit. I see you have flowers. Is that like a little flower in the
Yeah,
back?
it's a flower. I love elephants. So elephants are my spirit animal. So I love elephants.
Oh, what's your spirit animal?
An elephant.
Oh, an
Elephants.
elephant. Yeah, elephant brings like abundance, money, like all of that. Yeah, I have a couple elephants around me too. I love elephants. Oh wow. So I want to hear like a quick little story of something that you had to overcome because this helps to inspire. If you can think of the top of your head. I don't know if it's from, you know, maybe hearing that you got on the show or something that you had to overcome, maybe meeting your husband after being a single mom.
Sure. If I think all those things, I would say probably one of the hardest things that I had to overcome was the outside haters and not listening to them. As I mentioned at the top of the show, that I think it's a constant thing that women need to show up for themselves and their purpose.
Mm.
And that goes back to my first dance lesson at 12 years old when I first got into that studio with all these different type of professional dancers or quote unquote body, they had the body to be a dancer, and they teased me horribly, like teased me that I was too fat to dance. And I look at that moment in my life and I go, okay, dance kept me motivated. But essentially, it wasn't only the dance, it was my inner fire to dance, right? So it wasn't just, oh, dance was the passion, but it was that inner fire to dance and perform that I wasn't going to let anybody else block that out of me. And I didn't. And that stays with me to this day, no matter what obstacle comes my way, no matter how hard or obstacles could happen in life. um, you got to block it out. You got to have those boundaries, and you got to let your light shine.
Wow, that is very inspirational. And this is why, of course, we're coaches to let women know that your inner beauty, your inner light is there. I know we go through life and things happen. Maybe you go through traumas or people telling you you're just not good enough, pretty enough, small enough, all of that. I'm here to tell you, we're both here to tell you that you are worth it. Choose you, and you're here to be your best authentic self, right? Definitely. And the purpose of life really is to really find your true purpose. And I love hearing other people's journey and other people's um stories of why they do what they do and their life purpose. So it was so awesome talking to you today
So
and
great to
getting
meet
to know
you.
you more and all of that. Where can women find you? Because again, this is Alicia. She is a mind and movement coach. Where I, as a confidence and model and body image coach, it is so important to move your body. I totally believe in that. And if you're feeling lack of motivation, because I hear that so much, I'm not motivated to work out, I'm not motivated to do even stuff with your mind, because everything starts in the mind. Your thoughts are who you are. I am a strong believer in living in your results, also your positive results. No negative, things happen. Try to block away and kick away and push away the negative thoughts, and just be in a positive mindset. So one more tip for our audience out there: how can women, because most of our audience is women, how can you, what's a top secret that you use with your mind when the stinking thinking comes in? Because this is what happened. The ego tries to protect us. Oh, you can't do that. You can't write that book. You can't be be visible. You can't be on live. You can't, all these can't. Who the hell you think you are? How can you help to let women know that no, your mind, how do they block out all that stuff and go forward? I call it pressing gas.
Yeah. No, and I say the same thing. I think it's action. So I think we get so caught in I can't, I can't, I can't. Well, what if I just do? Right? So let's say you want to write a book. Like, what if you just write a page, right? Why can't a page be a book? Who says, well, I would read a page book if it motivates me, right? So it's action. Stop. You're going to keep hearing, you're always going to hear something that you can't do. The can't's always going to be there. So just do. See where it gets you. Take that, just do it. You say, oh, I can't commit to, I can't get to the gym, right? All right. So get up for a minute and shake a cake. You're moving.
You know what I love? Are your videos on YouTube? Because
Yes.
that's how I do I'm going to be honest right now. I used to have a gym membership. I'm a crunch girl.
Yeah.
Like, when I was living in New York, that was my time. Like, I'm a fit model. Also, like, I would 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Everybody knows, all my clients do not book me at that time because I'm going to the gym, I'm dancing, I'm doing, oh my God. And you know what, Alicia? Like, when you tap into different workouts, your life changed. Because I remember you get to, as you said, action, right? So I remember this one time I saw the aerial, like, I forgot, like the aerial dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I love to fly and I love to dance. So that's like,
did you do this?
you're in the air and you're dancing and you're doing this movement. And I went and I took that class, and oh my God, it was such an amazing feeling to be actually at 200 pounds, be able to flip upside down, hang like your whole legs are up like an acrobat. It was so amazing, right? And of course, it started in my mind. Like, I had to see the photos, see the videos, and actually put it in my mind like, yo, I'm 200 pounds, but I'm going to do it.
Yes. And I think it's fine to try other movements, right? Like, it's be free with it. Like, there's no rules when it comes to moving your body. We're made to move, as I keep saying. There was a couple years ago, I tried CrossFit. I'm not a CrossFitter. That's not my thing. But how I got through it was every time I would do a burpee, I get up and like shake around. Like, the coaches were like, oh, that's the way to do it. I was like, well, is that way? I got to get it in, because I wanted to try something new, but I had to do it on my terms. You know what I mean? So maybe have fun with your movements, whatever it is. Motivation doesn't have to be training for a triathlon on day one. That doesn't, and if that works for you, run on. Like, if that's what you need, let that go with that. But if you're someone like me and it's like, okay, I got to get it in because I got a lot of stuff going on. And if I don't get it in, then I'm going to go crazy and all those things. And just do it. Do the action. Do those action steps, even if it's not perfect, even if you don't have the ideal body, whatever. What's an ideal body? I mean, that in itself is a
wrong thinking. Yes, definitely. Because we're all uniquely and wonderfully made. And can you just imagine if everybody's body was the same? This world would be so boring.
Exactly.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, and so to me, everybody is beautiful, no matter what size, no matter what your face looks like, no matter what your toe looks like. Like, it's so subjective. If you feel good in the skin that you're in, then rock it, right? If you want to work on your abs or whatever, rock what you have now. Why isn't it beautiful now? right? Like just rock it until you could rock whatever the next thing you want to rock. You know what I mean? Like we have multiple outfits on a daily basis. It doesn't mean one's less beautiful. We're just wearing a different outfit. So what's the difference? Like just rock what you got until whatever you want to do next. And if you're what you got is good enough, then keep rocking it and keep shining it.
Wow, that is such an awesome message. And I love what your mission is. Because again, I love dance and I think it's just a fun way to really tap into your inner girl and your body. And because sometimes, I don't know if you ever go through this, but my inner girl is always with me. And sometimes she's like, you know what? I'm here working, working, working. Sometimes she's like, I need to dance. I actually need to turn on some music and move my body, right? And sometimes I push down the feelings. So what do you have to say to women who are like, oh, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it or whatever. This is the importance of having a coach, guys, because you could turn on the television, you could buy the cute outfits, watch all the podcasts and looking these magazines and all these different things. But if you do not have the motivation on your own, you need that support, right? So talk to a little bit about the results that women will get from your coaching, from a movement coach. I never really heard of a movement coach. I've heard of wellness coaches and, of course, fitness coaches and all of that. So, can you talk a little bit about the results that women will get and, yeah, from
Yeah,
your
you bet.
coaching?
It's interesting because from my perspective, having been in that, I mean, I was on a show that promoted diet culture. There was a lot of greatness to it. I worked with I'm still friends with a lot of the dancers from Dancing with the Stars. It's who I worked with, it's who I trained with, all those things. But it was
Wow.
interesting because the missing element, and all my castmates were still close to the people who were on the show. We always say the transformation that we had on the show was great, but the missing piece was having mental health professionals there to help guide us through. Because what people don't understand is that mental fitness, your mind is your weakest muscle. So the result that you get with confidence, not only do you get actual movement from a real lady that's doing it. I don't have a whole production, like I said, and that's purposely because I want people to feel like they could do this from anywhere. I do this in my home office, during my workday. Sometimes even through the Zoom when it's scheduled, my kid will pop in and people love it because they're like, oh, so her mom, the kid's coming home, but I'm still there shaking it. I always say my kids are going to remember mom was shaking her ass in the living room with all the people online. I'm like, that's right. That's happening. It's results driven by a day-to-day motivation. So not only are you going to get movement, a fun movement, all different dance forms, and I'm a really good dancer too. So I'm not only a mom that dances, I was a trained dancer, so it's my thing. And you're going to get someone that's going to help you with your mind, right? So let's say diet wise, if you're trying to follow a diet, sometimes it's not just what's on those lines that you need to follow. It's like, okay, maybe all of this is too much. Maybe you can't take that huge chunk just yet. So how can you just take one step? So you're going to get the mind motivation and you're going to get the movement motivation together combined to make you even more marvelous than you are.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's why it's mind and movement together because it's like it all flows together.
Yeah, and
All
when you do those
right. So,
things, it
what
comes
was that?
together. No, when you do those things, everything really comes together. You're going to feel better. You're going to
Oh,
have just a more vibrant, just energy brought to you because you're putting that time in for yourself.
yes, it's so, so important. So, ladies and gentlemen, choose you. Take that time for yourself. As Alicia here is saying, she's a mind and body movement coach. Sorry. So she knows all about the importance of moving the body and, of course, how to get your mind into moving your body that you'll feel so much better. So, of course, one of the tips that you talked about was action. And of course, I am a model and a coach and all of that. So a lot of women, shy away from taking photos and all this stuff and dancing in front of the camera and all of that good stuff. And you are expert at that, definitely. And I want to give, a little value to women right now who are scared of the camera. Like take selfies are everything nowadays. I don't know if you want to stick around for this, but I'm just gonna give 3 great facial poses that will make your every picture that you take look like a diamond. I mean, whether it's a
Can I practice
selfie
with
or
you?
uh-huh.
I'll practice with you.
Oh yes, definitely. And this is for, women who are entrepreneurs too. You have to get in front of the camera, and a good selfie will get you amazing hits on Facebook. I know that for Facebook and for Insta and well, TikTok is more videos, but a great selfie really draws women to you. So let's do a quick selfie pose right now. This is a beauty, so we get closer to the camera right now. Thank you for doing this with me. So yes, guys, yes, in the comments, if you want to know more about this, you could always comment yes, and we could talk and all of that. So of course, you want to make sure that your eyes find the camera on that phone. You don't want to be over here. You don't want to be down there. You don't want to be up here. Get your eyes right where that little circle is and zone in on it, right? So that's the first thing. And of course, you do the turtleneck. You stick your neck out, kind of like that. It hurts, but it look awesome in photos. So you stick your neck, find the camera, stick your neck out, and do an amazing smile. And the smile should come from within. Of course, think about something. Maybe you're on a yacht somewhere, something that you love. You're eating your favorite food. Think about that, and then just pop those eyes open, neck out, and give that radiant smile, right? And that is pose number 1, right? And of course, to look sleeker in the cheeks, have the camera a little higher, like higher than your face now. Yes, you have perfect. And tilt your head up a little bit and look, of course, in the lens, or you could look a little slightly away from the lens, right? Like you're like, oh, hi, like that type of thing. But if you want to do a closed mouth, you could always suck your cheekbones in a little, right? You can suck it in a little bit just to give you that little contour more and make your cheekbones look a little higher. So you're like,
Ooh, that makes a difference.
snap, right? So that's another one right there. And you're still
that's
doing
so good
the
that
turtleneck.
elongates the, oh.
Yeah, and you're sucking cheekbones right there. So you could do slide open or just have your mouth closed with that. It's a little harder to smile when you're sucking in your cheekbones, but that is a model 101 right there. So that's pose number 2. And of course, pose number 3, I love action stuff, and I'm sure you're a dancer, so you love this stuff too. So to get like a vibrant energy flowing selfie or just a photo of, a photographer taking a picture of you, if you're in a motion, like you're doing something like that, right? And you feel stale, like you keep doing it like, oh, no, and it's not working. Again, do the turtleneck, do everything that I just taught you, but just do it and have a thought in your mind. Ooh, I'm on the show. Like, bam. Yes. Like, yeah, like, you just did a dance move.
Ooh, yes. Like, oh, God.
And you hold that emotion. Like,
yeah.
You see yeah, Alicia, I love that. Oh my God. All right, so let's have a little pose off. Let's have a little fun. I hope you can say, well, we'll be done in like 2 seconds, but let's do a little pose off to some music.
Okay.
Let's turn the music on. Let's see. Can you hear that?
I don't really, no, I don't. Ooh, there it is.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, three, go.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
We should have
Thank
actually been
you
taking
so,
pictures.
huh?
We should have actually been taking pictures there.
I'm telling you. Well, I mean, watch the replay for those of you who have missed this. This is gonna be on replay on YouTube and on Facebook and LinkedIn. Hi, my LinkedIn people. How are you? Yes, yes, yes. So, Alicia, one more thing. Just give everybody where they can find you and what you have going on. What values are you giving out right now? Like, what offers?
Absolutely. So if you would like to be part of the Confidence membership, go ahead, check out letsconfidence.com. We have a year membership for $133. You get 3 new workouts, 33 minutes a day. So they're short, fun, and low impact. And if you need some more amplifying, go ahead and check out my podcast, thealiciashow.com, where we help amplify women's voices to create more women leaders, because we need them.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I see Guadeloupe. Hello, bonjour, bonjour. Oui, coming on. Hi guys. Is there any questions that you want from Miss Alicia? We've been on like almost an hour. So I know she's a busy mom and all of that.
Chatting it up here.
And yeah, so
This is
she
so
has to run and I have to run. The day is starting. So get motivated, guys. Watch this replay back. She dropped some amazing gems on how you can get motivated. It's not what you think. It's not difficult. Get that mind and body moving, right? She is a mind and body and movement coach. I keep on saying body. There's something body there for you
body.
to help your body, but she's a movement coach. All right, so I will see you guys, and remember, you are a king and a queen because you're worth it, and you are uniquely and wonderfully made. Bye. Thank you, Alicia. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.